After graduating Mark Singh's program, David Moats had his choice with women. He was dating 3 beautiful women and he wanted to settle down and get married, but he didn't know which one to choose. So he had an idea. He would give each one $5,000 and based on what they did with the money, he would make his selection. The first woman went and bought herself some beautiful clothes, a new makeover, and she looked absolutely gorgeous. And she told David, "I did this for you." The second one took the $5,000 and bought David a new gun, a new painting, a detail for his car, and a beautiful steak dinner that David was really pleased with. The third girl took the $5,000 and invested it into the stock market. She doubled her money, paid David back, and kept the other $5,000 in, thus making more money, both for her and David's future. David thought about which one to choose very carefully. He had sleepless nights, he couldn't decide, and finally, he made his decision. He chose the girl with the biggest tits. Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to yet another awesome episode of the UMP. I really do appreciate it. The title, How to Get Your Ex-Girlfriend Back, is highly searchable, which means probably a lot of new guys are going to be listening to this episode. And I'm just going to be honest with you, brother. Right out of the gate, I don't agree with trying to get your ex-girlfriend back. However, I'm going to teach you how to do so. The reason I don't agree with it is because once you get good with women by listening to my podcast and, of course, coming into my 3-month coaching program, as we talked about in the beginning of the show with David Moats, who had this choice of 3 girls and then he picked the one with the biggest tits. I thought that was really funny. You have abundance and you realize that if it didn't work out the first time, why are you chasing this girl? Why are you trying to get her back? And let me ask you this. If you could get any girl you wanted, would you try to get that girl back? My honest answer is probably no. The reason you want that girl back is, yeah, you have feelings for her. You think that you guys jive, but you obviously don't. And that's the reason it didn't work out. There was something amiss, probably in your game, by the way, but there was something not right there. And that's why it crumbled. So why would you, spilling a Coke on the floor, try to go suck it up through dirt and grass and disgustingness and ants and piss and whatever else could be on the floor when you could just get a new Coke? And yeah, I understand that some girls you just fall in love with, but I'm telling you, brother, there are more girls out there that you could fall in love with. And I'm just going to warn you, the way to get your ex-girlfriend back is not by chasing her, kissing her ass, blowing smoke up her butt and hoping that's going to get her back. The way to get her back is to do the opposite of what you think, which I'm going to outline in this episode. So if the only strategy you want to get your ex-girlfriend back is to placate to her and to chase her, this episode isn't for you. I'm not the coach for you. If, on the other hand, you want to actually deploy what works, and boys, by the way, this not only works to get your ex-girlfriend back, but it's going to work to get women attracted to you otherwise, then stay tuned. I have a lot of really good information for you. Now, the reason I'm doing this episode is because a dude hit me up and he said, "Hey, I first found you when I searched how to get my ex-girlfriend back." And I was like, I don't even remember doing an episode about that because, like I said, I prefer to get new girls than to chase after old news. I don't want to pave the same concrete twice, if you know what I'm saying. But I looked back and it's been 5 years since I recorded an episode about this. And frankly, I feel like my podcast is better. I feel like my information is better. So we're going to do a better episode so that when guys like you are searching for this, you come across it and you realize what it is that you did wrong in the first place. Now, if you're trying to get your ex-girlfriend back, I can only assume that she broke up with you and it wasn't really your choice. Why would you try to get her back if you blew her out in the first place? So we understand that it was probably something you did that made her lose attraction for you. So right out of the gate, brother, I want to suggest to you to listen to any and every episode that I've done on frame control. 2 words, frame control, and then my name, Mark Sing, MarkSing, like I'm singing a song. Listen to that and you will probably discover what you did wrong. Another issue as to why women leave men is because there's not enough trust and connection. She doesn't feel like he's there for her. She doesn't feel like he listens to her. She doesn't feel like he's present in the relationship. That's really important. I'm going to save that for a different episode. If you search my material, both frame control as well as trust and connection, you'll probably realize what you did wrong. So now we're in the situation where she's blown you out and your instinct is to chase her. your instinct is to beg for her back. How do I know this is true? Because I've been that dude. When I first got my heart broken back in college, which is the whole reason I got into this niche, is because I was like, what the heck did I do wrong? I treated this girl like gold. My instinct was to chase her. My instinct was to convince her that I was the best dude for her. I literally wrote her letters, long letters, all handwritten, that were just painfully needy, completely beta cuck level shit. And she didn't ever take me back because I was trying to chase after her. Later, I learned the way to get an ex-girlfriend back is to do the opposite of what you think you should do. And we're going to talk about that. Now, before I get into that content, I want to ask you guys, have you ever seen this movie called Swingers? It's a movie from the 90s where this dude, yes, loses his girlfriend and all he wants is her back. He's completely destroyed. He's literally sleeping on the ground in his apartment, drinking orange juice with all the blinds closed, just a completely wreck of a man, until his boys bring him out, have him meet other girls. And then right when he meets another girl, the ex-girlfriend tries to come back. So that theme is what we have to deploy in this situation. How do you get your ex-girlfriend back? Brace yourself, brother, because I'm probably going to tell you something you may not like, but it's the goddamn truth. And I'm the one coach that's going to tell you the truth. You have to see other girls. And I know that's not what you want to hear. You want that girl back so bad, but it's the only play, even if you almost have to pretend you're doing it. So the way to do it is to stop talking to her, stop following her, stop liking her pictures and messages and trying to text her and follow up and chase her ass. Horrible. That's probably what chased her away in the first place, is that you were either too needy, didn't have enough frame, or you weren't there enough for her. And you think if I keep pursuing her, then she's going to finally realize I care about her and she's going to come back to me. It doesn't work. Even if you weren't present in the relationship and you start placating to her and chasing her and saying, I'm going to be present, I'm Mr. Nice Guy now, she's not going to respect that, but she's not going to respect it on a different level that chased her away in the first place. So the way to do it is to show her that you don't need her. Why is it that a man that doesn't need a woman is attractive? Why is that? Because women want a man who can stand on his own 2 feet, who puts his life first, who's independent, ambitious, passionate about his life. Women may tell you that they want you to put them first, but they don't. And I will take that to my grave. Women do not want you to put them first, bro tendo. And I don't care who tells me that I'm wrong. I've been doing this for a very long time. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. They do not want you to put them on a pedestal. They do not want you to worship them. They do not want you to give them the power that a lot of you guys are trying to give them because you're trying to get them back. So with that precedence that she wants me to put my life first, you have to put your life first. Here's what you do. All that pain, all that anguish, that heartbreak that you have inside your chest, that's a lot of energy, isn't it? It's a lot of freaking energy that you can put into bettering yourself. Now, hopefully you've clicked on this episode because rather than being desperate and hoping I'm going to give you 6 magical words that's going to bring her back to you, you instead saw my podcast title, saw what this podcast was about, being unapologetic for being you, and you wanted to improve yourself. You need to work on you. Your next project isn't to get her back. Your next project is to work on you, brother. And I will say that every day of the week and twice on Sunday to a guy who just got left by his woman. That includes improving your diet, starting to work out, getting better clothes, improving your Instagram, improving your Facebook, places she might see you. Now, again, I don't love to give advice about getting girls back because why are you trying to pave the same real estate twice? But one of the things you can do is start improving your online presence and let her see it. Now, here's something completely counterintuitive. Women are attracted to men who women are attracted to. What does that mean? It means when you have women in your life, other women want to be in your life. People want what people want. I always wondered what that meant when I first heard it. People want what people want. At one time, it seems glaringly obvious that, yeah, that's true, but at another point, it doesn't make sense. What that means is if a lot of people want a certain piece of real estate, a lot more people are going to want that piece of real estate. This is why businesses create the illusion of demand. This is why when you have lots of girls in your life, such as posting pictures of you with other chicks on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it happens to be, she will see that and be like, oh shit, what did I lose? Now, the strategy here is to better your life. And that's not contrived. That's what we have to do. And I'm happy you get to do that. So look at this as an opportunity to make yourself into the next best version of the greatest thought you ever had about yourself. That's your purpose here on life. So use that energy to become that. Now you can post some of that stuff on Instagram. You dressing better, looking better, being more ripped, being more happy, and yes, with other girls. Now, you don't necessarily have to telegraph that you're dating these girls, but it should be telegraphed that you have women in your life, that you've moved on. The quickest way to get a woman back is to move on. And the quickest way to show her that you've moved on, and the most powerful way to get her back, is to date other girls. And I know it sounds completely counterintuitive, but once you move on, you start getting into an abundance mindset. You realize, wait a minute, it wasn't just about this one chick the whole time. Now I have a skill set to go get any chick. Why would I date one girl when I could date 4? Now, that used to be my philosophy for a long time until I met the one for me, the girl who, in my opinion, is my soulmate, and I am settled down with her. If she ever left me, though, I'm not that worried about it because I know that I could go get hundreds of other girls because I have this skill set. So job number 2 is to develop a skill set, start dating girls. If you can, post those girls on your Instagram, and yeah, let her see those pictures if you're still in the mentality that you want to get her back. Honestly, brother, if it was me and Marissa broke up with me, I'd block her ass. I'd delete her phone number. She would be fucking done. Absolutely done. I'm dating other girls because I know deep inside of who I am that I am a catch. I am worth it. I am the prize. And there's thousands, millions of girls out there who would be so stoked to date a guy like me. And yeah, I could probably find another one I relate to the way I relate to Marissa. Now, obviously, I feel Marissa and I have a spiritual connection, which you too may have felt you had with this woman, but I still believe that there are other soulmates out there for us, and you'll find them eventually if you work on yourself. Now, part of the reason a lot of guys struggle with wanting to just stick with that one girl is because they don't believe in their skill set. They don't believe in themselves. They don't think they're attractive. They don't think they're a catch. They're fundamentally insecure. So the next thing you have to do is work on what's inside here. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to remap metaprograms, schemas, belief systems, and archetypes so that you feel the same self-esteem that you felt when you were born. The same self-esteem that when you were 1 year old or 2 years old, you went up to a person and said, hey, how are you? My name is whatever, whatever. And you didn't give a shit until other people came and messed you up, including the trauma of you being broken up with. And now you have insecurities and you don't feel you could get other girls. So you're in a scarcity mindset rather than an abundance mindset. We need to get you into abundance, talking to other girls, getting on the apps, getting out there cold approaching, getting out there with top of funnel ideas. All these things I teach in my podcast, but more importantly in my 3-month coaching program to get abundance. Here's the ironic thing, which is exactly what happened in Swingers. When you get abundance, you're going to meet a girl who's better than that girl who broke up with you. Because if you're chasing after her, I can almost guarantee you, and this isn't an insult to you, brother, I just know it, that you have some issues. You have some blind spots in your game that you probably don't even know you don't even know. And that's why she broke up with you. And now you're in this insecure place of like, I can't get a girl better than this. Or I was so in love with her. There's nobody else out there like her. I'm telling you, brother, there is. There is. I feel that I have a 10. Her name, as I said, is Marissa. I feel she's perfect for me. We were driving home today and we were like, damn, dude, we just like totally are soulmates. We bond. I can read her mind. It's insane. But between you and me, I know I can meet another girl like that. And frankly, she can meet another guy like that. It's going to take her a while, but she can meet him. And it's going to take me a while too, but I have no illusions that I'm not able to do it. I know I could do it. And that's the thought of a high value man. And that's the thought of an attractive man. So not only is this the way to get your ex-girlfriend back because what you're displaying on Instagram, I'm telling you, you will put out a vibe. Even if you guys aren't talking, I really believe that she will pick up on it from afar somehow, whether spiritually, psychically, they just do. And she'll start calling you back. She's going to start hitting you back up. If you work on yourself, if you date other girls, tackle the bullshit inside your head, improve yourself to become that next best version of yourself. Understand things like frame control, attraction, trust, and connection. She will come crawling back to you, especially if you make a concerted effort at it. Now, this not only makes girls come back, but it also makes girls stay. And that's in the title as well, how to not get left. The way to not get left is to be continuously improving yourself, trying to get to that next best level of yourself, showing ambition, showing drive, showing passion, making sure that you have trust and connection with her, always making sure you control the frame, because if you ever lose the frame, she's losing attraction for you. Yes, it's that important. If you lose the frame, she's losing attraction. They are literally one and the same thing. This is the way to get a girl back and to keep her attracted to you. But if you lost that girl, brother, you need to go date other women. And that's exactly what I teach my guys to do. If you're dating 4 girls who are equally as hot as this one, and one of them even has a better personality, you just met a girl who's better for you than the one you just lost. But again, scarcity has us thinking like, oh, I want her back. And it's that needy state, isn't it? It's that same state when you want your mommy when you're 3 years old and you can't find her at the park and you're like, mommy, mommy. Does that feel good? Does that feel masculine? Does it feel empowering? Of course not. It's weakness. And you have to admit that to yourself first. Me pining after this girl, chasing her, trying to get her back is such a beta place of limited power that you are actually in a disadvantage. So we don't go there at all. You're no longer trying to get her back. That needs to be your mentality. What you're trying to do is improve yourself. And yes, meet other girls and build a skill set. But even with them, you don't care what happens. Because your skill set of you improving yourself is the most important thing. You developing into the next best version of yourself is your prime directive, that she will come back on her own accord. And if she does, it's your decision to take her back or not. Now, here's the ironic thing about swingers. Homeboy is completely broken up about this girl, meets another girl who's way better, by the way, hotter, better dancer, just a better connection with him. And the ex-girlfriend calls him while he's on the phone with the new girl. And he tells the ex-girlfriend, who he's been like completely pining over, hey, I'll call you back. I got to go. I'm talking to somebody else. Yeah, I'll call you back later. And then the movie ends. And essentially that says the truth that once you fully move on, she'll come back. But when she comes back, you won't need her anyway. And that's the analogy of spilling the Coke on the ground. Why are you going to try to suck up all these pesticides and dirt along with this Coke that basically abandoned you to begin with, when you have a brand new Coke, in fact, 12 Cokes, 16 Cokes, a fucking cooler full of Cokes, a goddamn warehouse full of Cokes that you could go through and see the next best one. When you do that, the Coke that was on the ground getting mixed up with the pesticides is going to be like, can you take me back? And you'd be like, fuck no. What was I even thinking? The reason I thought that is because I had a scarcity mindset. And even if you disagree with me, it wasn't a scarcity mindset. She's just perfect. She's an angel. She's my soulmate. Then why didn't it work out? Why didn't it work out? It obviously wasn't meant to be, was it? Whether it's because you didn't have enough game, you didn't understand how to keep her attracted, it doesn't matter. It didn't work out for a reason. So brother, move on. What I do is I teach guys how to move on. I teach them how to build a skill set, how to remap their brains so they feel like the prize, so that they have abundance in their life and they can choose from abundance, not scarcity. As I always say, boys, you choose or you're going to be chosen. And when you're chosen, you are in that weak frame. And if she leaves you and you start chasing her, your frame gets even more powerless. It is a horrible place to be in. So we're scratching that shit. You, my friend, need to work on yourself, become that next best version of yourself, learn how to attract new women, go attract new women, experience new women. And if that girl comes crawling back, hey, I don't agree with it, but if you want to take her back, you can. That's when you have the power. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening. I want to remind you to go search Frame Control, CoachMarkSing, and also Trust and Connection in order to fix some of the holes that you have in your game. But if you want to come train with us and get the single best seduction training available on the market today, and yes, I mean that with utmost sincerity, where we not only teach you the tactical aspect, but also fix the bullshit that's inside your head, including removing the trauma of that girl leaving you, click the link in the description below, fill in the quick application, send it in. You and I are going to talk. We're going to email with each other. And if it seems like you're a good fit for us, and most importantly, if we're a good fit for you to take you to that next level, we're going to get on a one-on-one free NLP session together. to unveil all the shit that you have in your past, to unveil the traumas of this girl leaving you, and to show you how you can move on with NLP and the tactics and see if you're a good fit for this program. We are not high pressure. We are not trying to close people. What we're looking for is guys who we can at least 10x the results and guys who will be a guaranteed success. Look at my reviews, look at all the case studies. I get success after success after success because I'm good at choosing clients, and I choose guys who are guaranteed success. So why not come talk to us and explore if we can help you too? In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Sign up below, you and I will talk. All right, gentlemen, I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.